Alright, what's up everybody, how's it going? Welcome back. This is another Ranger build guide update here for you guys. So, we decided to go a little bit more in depth here for you guys and go like over an entire combo system, using the training dummy, using just full crit rate versus attack power panseas and elixirs for all of it here. And let me go ahead and pull up my notepad. This is what I ended up finding out here. Let's go ahead and show that. Okay, so at the very top here we have crit and crit damage build, for doing a total of 51,970 across the board here, taking each individual number, so the very first shot, and then multiplying it by 0.76 for the rate, and then taking it again by the crit damage, and then the rate at which I would crit, 0.24, to get my numbers. That's what I did for all of this, and then I just changed it up. I have a bunch of different build setups for this, so as you see, I did 4572, so that's what I did there. With the full attack power, I had 5612. We did 54,935, so we did about 4,000 or 3,000 more damage with the attack power build comparatively. That's just basis and any panseas. Now we're rolling down to the panseas with the hybrid crit damage build and attack power with crit rate. We did 63,000. With the crit damage with crit panseas and elixirs, we did 57,000. So I think I might need to redo that math there on that one. But either way, it'll become better at the end. So with attack power panseas and elixir, we did 65,932. Crit damage with crit pansy and elixir and 9% food buff for 53% crit chance. With our current crit rates, we did 65,326 compared to 70,394 with a full attack power setup with attack power Panacea and Elixir for a 9% crit with the food buff, giving us a 33% crit chance. That bumped us up by about 5,000 more damage. Then we did the hybrid, which actually dropped the damage. We did 64,947. And then I decided, so base crit that you could have is 36%, and then I compared the two here. So for the attack power with full attack power Panacea and Elixir with base crit and the 9% from your food buff, you get about 45% crit rate, so you did 72,699. And then vice versa with a 65% crit with a base of 35 or 36 with a total of 29 that you get from your food, your panacea, and your elixir, because you get 12, 8, and 9 for those three items. You did 69,392. So on paper, attack power is the way to go. But I'm here with my buddy Demon Wolf here, and we're going to be doing a test here for the non-practical sense, or for the practical sense, I mean, of what it's actually going to be in-game. Because the problem with that method of doing the math there is you're taking both the number from your first shot. One might crit, but if I do it again, I don't crit. And that's the determining factor there, is when you do a full damage rotation, is if you crit more to if you crit less, what's the damage difference going to be? And you can't necessarily test that on paper without doing multiple instances of it and jotting it all down, which would take a far longer time. So my plan is to have him sit there in a Cursed Knight's 2-man dungeon setup, and I'm going to be soloing Cursed Knight with both setups for about 5 times each, or maybe more. I want to shoot for 10, but it really just depends on how long the buffs last. I want to do like 10 each, so 20 runs, so that'd be a good number, but I'll start with 5 of each, so that way we at least get that. If anything, I'll go buy more pansies and stuff. I did get my reset, and I'm up to 314,000 star seeds again, so that's good there. So let's go ahead and get Queed up there, Demon Wolf.
Already done.
Fantastic. All right, here we go, guys. This will be the true test right here. And we're going to jot down the times that we have for the 2 different setups here. I'm going to make a new... Well, we'll just jot it down with the one that I have already here. We're just going to scroll down. And we're just going to copy my little divider that I made. Boom. Times for crit rate / crit damage. Alright, so we're going to run with the crit rate / crit damage setup first. Now I'm probably gonna have to get another food buff, which ain't too bad. Sit and share food.
I'm just sitting. Hey,
Yep.
you're sitting on me, you faggot. Get off me, you fag.
Alright, so let's go ahead and pop our Elixir of the Hunter and our Panacea of the Hunter, 8 and 12, giving us a
And you-
total of 53% crit rate. Our damage is 4968 here. Alright, let's get started. Round number 1. This is the best way I could do it. Now, each run's not going to be exactly the same, obviously, because there's going to be the variable of what the boss does and everything. So that's going to play a part, and then that. But this is the best way to actually see them in action. So I figured this would be the best way to compare the two in a more practical sense, so you guys can see them in action as we compare them. So we are going to be using Mark for both builds. Boom, boom. Look, I'm critting so many more. We're going to be using that move right there every single time, so it's the same as each run. Each run will be the same. That was actually really good. I got him already down to 59%. Boom, boom. Now, my best time I did this before was 57 seconds in a whole different scenario when I had more. Alright, we're only going to use one mark. The mark to start the fight, so that way it's the same. I was thinking about throwing mark up again. And I got stunned right there, so that's going to also play a part in my overall time. Alright, there we go. 56 seconds for the first run. Alright, might as well grab the box. Cores. Gotta take the cores, right, guys? Alright. Oh, I didn't dodge roll. Alright, so let's go ahead and jot that down. 56 seconds. Run 1. So 1 was 57 seconds.
You said 56.
Was it 56? Okay, 56 seconds.
You can't even keep up your own time.
Ah, it's a second difference. It's okay. 56.
Consistency, bro. Consistency.
Yeah, I know. Alright. Run number 2. Get started here in a minute. It'll go a little bit faster once we get loaded in because I don't have to sit here and explain and then pop all the buffs. I might have to get one more food buff though for the second set. Go ahead and pop a potion there.
Matchmaking, dungeon.
Yep, Cursed Knight.
Quid, and there we go.
Fantastic. Alright, here we go. Run number 2. 56 seconds. That's pretty decent run time for just a solo. With my buddy Brian, we could probably get that down to about 30 seconds, I bet.
But that's not part of the mission.
Nope.
You told me to sit on my ass.
Yep,
Nothing.
you are sitting there being a anchor. Or just somebody who can allow me to come in here and solo this. That's all you're there for. And I appreciate you. I appreciate you helping me achieve this here for the video and for everybody. So we all know, in the end of the day, which one is truly better in a practical sense. Because on paper, yes, attack power is going to outperform according to the method that we use for our math there. Now, obviously, your times could be faster if you used Mark more than once throughout the fight. Because that's a 30% damage increase. And that's also going to increase our crit damage overall. But as I said, we're only going to use Mark for the very initial part of the fight. And I failed there. Obviously, player
is a part of a factor
Yep,
too.
that's the other factor. That's why I wanted to do 10 runs to get the best average run. Oh, I apologize there. Freaking buttons did not do what I want them to. Accidentally used, on the second run, I used one volley of the Arrow Storm combo, so I'll have to make sure I do that in the next one. Taking a lot more damage this time. Feels like a slower run. Also did get hurt a good little bit here. 110. Yeah, that was definitely a lot slower run there. 1.10.
I gotta go clean the box real quick. I was taking care of stuff.
Yep. So, yeah, that kind of hurt me a little bit there. Taking the damage and all that. So, it is what it is. Run number 3. Like I said, that's the real variable of what this test is doing for you is, yeah, things are going to happen in the game. Things are going to happen when you're fighting stuff. You might get hit more than somebody else. You might, not get hit, and you might be able to put out more damage. Your crit rate might be different. You might crit more often one time, where the other run you won't crit as much. So that's really what this is all about, is testing that theory. And testing which build will give you more of an output and more of a performance pleasure as far as damage is concerned compared to the other. I should probably be host because I can queen faster. But it's fine. He doesn't have the best load times, guys.
Oh, my fucking puppy.
It's because he doesn't have the X. He's got the S.
No, I have the regular, not the S.
Okay, the regular, which is even worse.
Man, if you want to be a good brother, buy me an Xbox X. I'll be happy for you to do that. But, yeah.
You can have my 1X when I get the X series, the new one that's coming out. Run number 3, here we go. I mean, a minute 10 solo, even with like not optimal. I took a lot of damage. I failed one of the grabs. That's still a really decent run for solo. It's no 56-second run, but it is pretty decent. And right there, we critted for 11k. We critted a bunch right there. I got him down to 56 before his first grab. 55, actually. I just critted a fudge ton. Holy crap. Like, almost every single shot is a crit right now. This is probably going to be one of my best runs right here. Second grab. Success. 54 seconds. Yeah, that was 2 seconds better than my my first run. That one felt really good. And I'm only using one mark, guys. Keep that in mind. If I use the second mark, those times would probably be down around 40 to 50 seconds. It'd be like under 50 seconds, I would say. You didn't grab the chest?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I grabbed it and ran.
I didn't even see you grab it.
You were talking.
I wasn't looking at the screen either, because I was writing down the 54 seconds. I got a good kid. He's got a smart ass kid, man. Bucket, Rachel. Yeah, Rachel had a bottle. He found the cap to it and was trying to put it on the bottle. He already can figure out. He's already got phones kind of figured out for a little bit. He's got the Xbox figured out. Turn it on and off. and he's just now a little over 1. He's walking around, grabbing stuff, climbing on things, venturing. Hey, that kid's gonna fucking cause me so much trouble later in life.
Hey, you had him.
The problem.
You did the deed.
I know, but the thing with it is it's because I was such a troublemaker. So he got blessed with my ass, with my genes.
Yeah. Your mom's always want you to have a kid just like you, just so you know what you went through. Well, you got it.
Alright. Boom, boom. Ooh, there we go. Boom, boom. Oh, I did. I was 10% less damage this time around, or 9% less damage this time around before the first grab.
Hmm.
See, that's that variable. Wow, I just had a 13k crit right there. Boom, boom, boom. Dodging, dodging. This will probably be kind of like middle of the pack, I bet. Unless my crit rate picks up in the end.
Can't help you there.
Yep, that's RNG. Oh god. I critted like 6 times in a row right there. 59 seconds for the 4th run.
See?
Yeah, I see you. I actually got plenty of time, so we're going to go ahead and do 20 runs, 10 each. I forget how fast this actually really is.
Now all I ask from you is you help me get A gear.
I'm going to help you
Cause,
out, don't worry.
cause I'm at 9 right now. I got everything but my one shoulders.
Legendary?
Epic.
Oh, epic.
I'm at 900 gear score. I
Yeah,
just need. I
honestly,
want.
as if I get Aegir that I don't need anymore, well, I can give you the, depending on which one comes out, I can give you the other setup.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Aegir that I don't have upgraded, which is the only one, the gloves, the attack power gloves, I can give you those. That's at least A tier. That'll give you more gear score than your epic rank ones. Because epic rank
Yeah.
plus 5 is the A piece, does the exact same gear score as the legendary plus 1 B gear.
But yeah, I just want some freaking.
But I highly recommend only using the master for anything A tier, because it's going to cost you 5,000 cores to fix it if it breaks after plus 1.
Yeah, I know.
So it's easier to pay the starseed amount.
That's
Especially
what
in
I
my
told
case when
me
I
to
can
do.
make 300 plus a day. Alright, run number 6. Run number 5 right here. Alright, so we're halfway through the crit rates / crit damage setup runs. And I might grab another food buff just to replenish the buff there.
But I do eventually want the best. Which one comes out the best? Just so you know.
Yep, I know. So this is what we're going to take all the runs, we're going to add them up, and then we're going to divide them by 10. Get my mark in there because I forgot to do it right away. But still 1 mark.
Salvage. 'Cause right now I'm just salvaging for quarters.
I've got to 56 that time. Boom, boom. Yep, cores are important. Boom. I mean, this works for me as well for a core farm. So it really helps us both out in this instance, because I got to get my Berserker / Crusader armor, and I got to enhance those up, so I'll need cores. Alright. Yeah, and I would use, in a practical sense, I would use 2, oh, I probably could end it right there if I used B. That was a solid 1 minute run. So 60 seconds. I'm going to convert it all into seconds. So we have 70 seconds for 1. So that way it's all in the same, because I had it literally labeled like 1.1. So this was 70 seconds. So we're kind of sitting average about a minute or so for the runs, which ain't bad. Only using 1 mark, so that's going to be the constant there. Like I said, it would be a lot faster with 2 marks, obviously, because that's You know, another 30% extra damage while you're critting and everything. Alright, so run number 6. Yeah, we still got plenty of time. My elixir might go out. It's about halfway, so should be good. Should be good. Otherwise, I'll just get another one. I've got plenty of star seeds to get another one. There's a really, really awesome pair of boots on the marketplace right now, guys. It's a white rune, 7.2% crit rate pair of boots for the hunter or for the ranger, but it costs 1 million star seeds. I really want it. That's 0.9% under max roll, because max roll is 8.1. I really want it. My boosts that I have are like 4 point something, so that's a 3% crit rate boost, which would be freaking awesome. An extra 3% would put me over a quarter innately. Boom, 17k on that big hit. Obviously, you could use different combos which would output your DPS a little bit more. But we're just using this one combo as the constant here, because it's usually the one I go to for this fight because it allows me to stay mobile and I can put out a good amount of damage.
Oh, I got a new game. It's kind of a hack and slash game.
No.
It's called Obey Me, but it's co-op as long as someone's there with another remote to play with you. But
So
other than that, so
ow.
if you were home with Rachel, you could play with her. She could play with you.
Alright, this is going to be really bad. I'm getting knocked around. This is a bad run.
Shit happened before. I can't help that.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, 107. So even though I got hit a lot at the end there, it was a 107. So it would have been probably around another 56, 57 second run. Like at that end, I failed my break free. I got hit, so when I dodged, I got hit, and that knocked me back. Then the freaking skeletons knocked me back again. I just got hit with another move. I'm like, God damn. So 7 was 67 seconds. Or 6 was 67 seconds. 7. Number 7. So we got 3 more runs to go, and I need health. I need health. I need the health.
Yeah, it was only $20, and I seen someone playing it yesterday on Mixer, so I bought it.
Too bad it's not a online co-op.
Yeah, I know.
I don't have any potions.
Rip.
I might be able to cook something though to get me cook. Hey, I can make me a pork skewer.
Okay, let me know when you're ready.
I'm making a lunchbox item.
That's fine. I just started the dungeon thing. When you're ready.
Where's my lunchbox item? The hell did I not make it? I guess not. Alright, well, I'm making it now. It might time out here. I don't want to like spend too much time. I want to get back into it for buff duration purposes.
You know, while you're doing that, you can actually hit the start button to go into it.
I know. Hopefully this will be good. These buffs will be good for 3 more runs. Get myself some health here with this. Did it not work? Why is it not giving me health? It's not like healing me. I'm only getting fire buff. I mean, 80 some % should be good. Should be. Whether or not it will be, we'll find out.
Well, get good.
Alright, let's go. Alright, hopefully we'll have a better run this time. And as I say that, I crit like 7 times in a row. Big crit right there. 17k. Alright. I took damage there. See, right now I would throw on another mark right here because it's ready to go. But in this instance, oh, you're down to 2% before the second grab. And I failed that. God damn it. Right there, that, and then, yeah, I just lost a bunch of time right there. Why didn't that one mark? Okay, that was really stupid. I freaking fired it and it didn't hit him 2 times. I think, or I hit one of the skeletons there, but if I had broke free there, that would have been a 61-second run. That would have been about probably about a 55-second run. So we wasted a little bit of time there. So run number 8. Should be able to go right into it. Give me another drink. So yeah, I'm gonna be averaging about a minute. Maybe it might be like 57 seconds. Ooh, I'm at 47% health. I cannot craft anything. Need more tough meat. We just gotta do 2 more, or technically 2 more runs. This will be run 8, 9, 10. We have 3 more runs actually. I'm gonna go for it. If I die, I die. I can pick myself up with star seeds. It's not a big deal there. But if I die, I lose. Oh, no, I can't die. I will lose all my buff, or 2 of my buffs.
Mm-hmm.
If anything, like I said, I'll just go buy more elixir or panacea. I'd have to buy another elixir. Do you have? No, you don't have anything. Never mind, because I can't eat the food buff. That'll take away my crit buff. I'll probably buy another one of those too, just to be on the safe side. Do, do, 80. 1%. 82%. I should be good with that. Could have opened the door. Because I'll still heal. Alright, here we go. Oh, nice crits. Nice crits right there. Oh, 62%. Success there. I'm just going to dodge away from that guy. I'm going to be a little bit more proactive against these guys. It might improve our times. It also help my my survivability sakes. There we go. Got a dodge there. No crits there at the end. There we go. 101 for the slower time. That was being a little bit more conservative, so 61 seconds. Definitely being a lot more conservative because I didn't want to die. Alright, 9th run. Dota. See, if I really push for the damage, I can get down to, my best time was 54 seconds. And I consistently had around 55 to 56 seconds, and then a lot of 60s. So I'm sitting mostly around a minute here, with some of the slower ones being about a minute and a half. Or not a minute and a half, a minute and 10. So about 70 seconds. Ready when you are for round number 9.
I'm going in, don't worry.
If I go in right away, I might be okay. Might not have to get another elixir. It's gonna be close to see if I'll need to get another one or not. I will refresh the food buff, however. I need to go get another one.
Going as fast as I can.
I know. Either way I look at it, I'd still have to wait for you to load in anyways.
No, you don't.
To do the queuing, for you to queue in, yeah. If it was me as host.
Oh, yeah, but I'm just saying you won't have to wait for me to do the fight.
No, I'm gonna go in right away. My elixir's almost out. Big hits right there. Not critting as much right now. Started to crit towards the middle there, and I got him down to 58. There we go. Took a little bit of damage there. Alright. Oh god, this is a fast run right here. This might be one of my fastest. We're going for the kill. 56 seconds. Alright. Another 56er right there. Alright, one more run. Ooh, it's gonna be close. I'm gonna go get another elixir. I just want to make sure that it doesn't run out during the fight.
Okay.
So I've had two 56-second runs. I think that's gonna be my average, like, best runs, other than the one that I did do have a 54, and I think my crit chances, the amount of crits I had on that run was just really phenomenal.
So don't go straight in?
Yeah, don't go straight in. I got a fast travel. I'm sitting over in the training area over in the trader's encampment. That's where I come to fight the test dummies to get my base damage and my other numbers. So we have one more run to do, but for fear of elixir potentially running out during the fight, which I can see it doing it because it's like got a sliver left, we're gonna go grab another one and another food buff while we're over there, and I'm gonna grab another attack pan elixir as well. Now guys, I'm spending a lot of my star seeds for this, so it's my pain for your guys' gain. It's really not gonna hurt me too much because, like I said, I do have 300,000 I get a day from my alts right now. I'm working on my 8th alt, which is my mage. So eventually, once I get my mage, my crusader, my berserker done, guys, 415,000 star seeds a day is what I'm going to be making. So we'll be good here, and I'll be able to not only afford to do future builds and future guides and stuff like that for other characters and classes. We can come back to this one if new gear and new things come out and run it again, or see different variables, or if new items come out that'll change things up. So there's lots of things that could happen in the future of the game that could shake the overall meta, if you will, of the game here. But currently, as it stands, this would be a good test. Yeah, it would have ran out during the fight because it just ran out on my fast travel here. Okay, let's go ahead. Show me. Purchase. Consumable potions. Like, these elixirs are not cheap, guys. Elixir of the Hunter. 7,000, guys, for one of these. 7,000 star seeds. They were cheaper. I'm also gonna, like I said, get another food buff and another elixir of the Hunter, actually. Or not the Hunter, of the of blades. These are a little bit cheaper, but this is another freaking 7,000 star seeds. That's 14,000 star seeds I just wasted right there for the test here. But, you know, it's all worth it to figure out once and for all which one is going to be the better one. Tiger shrimp food is actually pretty cheap, so I'll just go ahead and do the sort here. Ascending by price. 3,000 for one ain't too shabby. Alright, so now we have those again.
Man.
Not yet. I need to grab him from the mailbox.
Okay.
Check mail. Elixir of the Hunter. I want to make sure, because and that's the crit rate of, wait, what? Oh, 45%, yeah. And then consumables. Did it not go to my consumables? Yeah, there it is. Another attack power and attack power. So we sit at 53% crit rate right now. That's a 53. The best crit rate you can have is 65% if you run this setup. All right, I'm ready. That's if you have best in slot 8.1% crit rate across all your gear, guys. You're going to be sitting at 65. So if you could sit about 60%, I think that'd be ideal. If you have, you know, 7%, 6 to 7% on most of your gear, I think that would help you out a lot. So you're going to get 8.1 from your necklace for sure. And then your other three pieces, as long as they sit around 6 to 7%, you're going to be upwards of the 60% mark, which I think is really where it's going to start taking off. All right, so this is run number 10. Let's see if I can push that 56-second mark again. That'd be really ideal. All right, and I won't activate the stuff till we come in here for the attack power setup. I'll swap the gear around too. And we're going to be sitting at base crit damage. Alright, here we go. Final run for this setup. Let's try and make it a good one. Wow, I didn't crit on that at all. There we go. Now we're starting to get some crits off. And that was not a fail, but okay. So we lose about 2 seconds there. I don't know what my character's doing. It was like all kinds of server lag or something. But we're doing good either way. I'm starting to pick up the crit chance here on the end for our damage. That guy's trying to kill me. No bueno. Oof. Alright, he's at the last 9% though. There it is. 107. So 67 there. So the final run was 67 seconds. That was not ideally what I wanted. I wanted a lot better run than that. But yeah, that's how it is. That's what number we got. That's what we have. Alright, so average. AVG. Let's go ahead and pull up my calculator here to compute the averages. Alright, I need to move this over here. Move this over here so I can actually see everything while I'm inputting them in the calculator. So 56 plus 70 plus 54 plus 59 plus 60 plus 67 plus 61 plus 61 plus 56 plus 67. So total 611 seconds. Divide that by 10 for an average of a minute, 61 seconds. It's actually 61.1 for our average. So we average about a minute and 1 second a run. Alright. Attack power. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright.
When you're ready.
I am ready to go in. I'll put my food buff down in there and redo the gear and the elixirs and all that. Alright, we're only at 40 minutes for our video here, which ain't too bad. We're actually going through this pretty quickly, and we'll come down to find out what the average is for this one and our runs. I think they're going to be pretty close, but I'm curious to see which one will actually come out on top. Again, there's a lot more variables in there as far as, you know, player and the actual enemies as well. So keep that in mind as well, everybody. That's going to be another factor to take into account. My best run was 54 seconds, so let's see if we can beat that with the attack power setup. Alright, so first we're going to change our gear up. Start with the ring. From the Desert Song ring to Violent Tide. From the Bloody Shoulder Guards to the Shoulder Guards of Vigilance. From the Inspector Gloves to the Bloody Gloves. Now granted, this is not the best crit damage that I could have for my crit damage setup, and it's not the best attack power that you could have for the setup. Take that in the ground, you're about 170 or like 300-ish attack power off from ideally the best attack power you can have, and I'm about 8% crit damage off from the best crit damage I could have set up. So we're going to wait for me to have full health before we start this.
I opened the door for you since the last time you said I didn't open the door for you. Now shut up, I did it.
I was just saying you could.
Could
Alright,
but
now we still have our crit rate buffs on and everything, but our crit damage goes down. So let's go ahead and pop our other consumables, our Panacea Blades and our Elixir of Blades. Alright, so therefore our crit rate will drop down to 33%, and we have an attack power of 7,622 overall. Alright, let's see what we got, guys. Let's go. First run. 11k for a mark. Crit rate's not doing too bad here. Even at 33%, we're actually critting fairly often right now. Alright. Pretty good crit rate. Even at 33%, we're critting fairly often. Which is surprising. RNG, man. Dodge roll there. Oh, I got hit right there. Alright, so that's going to be like that one run I had where I got hit. I really can't afford to die here. There we go. 54 seconds for that time. For the very first run. Which is 2 seconds faster than my very first run for the other setup. I'm gonna need to heal. I might just buy some potions.
that's fine. Do what you gotta do.
It's actually a really solid first run, guys. I did notice I was critting quite often, though. I was critting that first one, I think, about the same as I critted the other one with a 20% more crit rate. So that's not bad at all. Honestly, I think this might come down to both setups being actually very viable, and it just depends on which one you want to do, personally. Both setups are definitely viable, but we'll see which one comes out on top. If one comes out on top, we might have an instance where everything's the same. Granted, I did have some pretty bad runs on the other setup, which hurt our overall average.
Let me know when you're ready.
We can go in. Oh, wait, no, we ain't. Hold up. I'm gonna buy
You said
potions.
you were buying potions
Yeah, I'm
first.
gonna buy some potions.
It's like, you can go. You're like, what about your potions, bro?
I completely spaced that for some reason. How much do these heal? They heal 250 every second for 10 seconds, so that's 500 every 2 seconds. So 5 times 4, or 5 times 5. Yeah, we'll grab a couple of these. They're pretty cheap. 13 tier 1 potions of regeneration.
Mm-hmm.
Will take
Ready?
care of us. Yeah. There we go. And I even got tripped up on one of them, and I failed the grab too, and I still managed a 54-second run. Interesting. Go ahead and pop that. Okay, let's go. Yeah, we had 3 crits right there, right in a row. All on that big one too, on that final combo. That's where you get a lot of damage. That big combo does a lot.
I already got 1,000 cores just by doing this.
Yep.
Because I was low on cores. Because I leveled up my shoulders to purple.
Nice.
My gear score is actually 907 right now.
That's not
But
bad.
I was like, I really want A gear, not B gear.
Yep, got that successful. We're actually having really decent runs right now. 56 seconds for the second run.
Bonus attack roll. Bow. So they have more, at least.
Yep, I have
Did
95 out of 98 inventory slots. 97. Okay. So right there, the second run was a lot better than our second run on our crit rate / crit damage setup. So if we can consistently stay around 56 seconds, I think I could stay around 54 to 56 seconds with my main setup with the crit / crit damage one.
Mm-hmm.
But there was a lot of different things that happened during that first set of 10. Like, I mean, I had a really bad one at 70 seconds. That hurt my average overall,
Mm-hmm.
along with a couple other 60s in there. 261s and another 67 for a really bad run. I had 2 67s in there and a 70, so that right there is why my average ended up being a minute. Alright, here we go. Run number 3. But that's just how it goes sometimes, guys.
That's how the cookie crumbles.
Yep. It's always that variable of player ability as well, and the enemies and the bosses that you're going to be fighting. Like now, obviously, you know, times will be a lot better if we used 2 marks throughout the run for both setups.
Excuse me.
I think the mark really helps out the attack power setup a little bit more than the crit damage one. Well, I think it's about even. We hit a 1698 there. Not bad. We definitely crit for a lot more. We crit for about the same, I think, for damage-wise. 13k. I'm critting for like 17, 18k on the other build. My initial hit is a 8k hit. 53 seconds on that one. We already are being a lot more consistent with an attack power setup, which is interesting. I'm having really good runs too. I kind of want to run the crit rate / crit damage one again, just because I feel like I had really bad runs on that one. And this one I'm having really decent runs altogether. But I'm not sure if that's because of my damage output or because of I'm just getting a lot luckier with these runs.
Who knows? No one will ever know.
We could do 2 sets, so 40 runs in total. I have Starseed, so I'm willing to do an average of 20 runs altogether. It's up to you, really, if you want to do it.
It don't matter.
I mean, it's getting your cores, so it's not like it's hurting us in any way.
Yeah. And it's giving me a little bit of experience to get to 27.
Slowly.
even.
But yeah, currently right now we're hitting very consistent 54 to 56 second time runs right now. My first run was 56 on my on the other setup. And then 54, 56. I think I can consistently hit 56 with that other setup. And even some faster times. But I'm not getting tripped up as much right now, which is nice for this guy. Yeah, I think we'll do another round of each. Screw my Starseeds. I don't need them.
No, why need
We're honestly and we're critting really decently too. I think that's another thing that's helping out. Like we just had 7 crits out of that combo. Got him down to 58% right there. So my crit RNG with this setup is really not too shabby either. That's helping out a lot. So yeah, I just critted again for another one. Whereas the others, that's what's weird. Like I'm critting more, or at least the same amount with a lesser crit chance than the other setup. I feel like I'm critting more consistently. Wow, we had a 50-second run. That's our fastest run. With only 1 mark. It's crazy. Yeah, this one's being way more consistent right now. So consistency might be this one. It's interesting. And we're not even at full attack power as well. And we're not at full crit damage as well on the other one, or crit rate. I think that could play another factor since I don't have, 65% crit rate to 45% crit rate. But it might turn out to be the same. I mean, we're still got 20% more crit than the other one. I mean, we're at 33, I think, compared to 54. Or, yeah, something like that. Let's see, what's our crit rate? Yeah, 33, and we had 54 with our other one. So, I mean, we're still at a 20% crit difference, and we're still being way more consistent right now. Alright, this is run number 5, halfway through. So yeah, this might be the actual setup to go for. Which is interesting, simply because almost every other game I've ever played in Mo-wise, crit damage will always be superior. But this one, I think it's got to do with something in the background that I'm not seeing, as far as how the damage is actually calculated. and how it scales with different buffs and things like that. But yeah, it's interesting. See, we didn't crit as much there on that end.
Just
Yeah, see, we're not. There you go. That'll get you some. Getting him down a lot quicker. Yeah, I'm having really good runs right now. I'm still using the same combo. I don't get his DPS check down as fast with the with this one. I mean, it's still fairly fast. 51 seconds there. Alright. Yeah, I'm consistently hitting right around 53 to 54 seconds. Our slowest was 56. Did somebody put something in my general chat? Yeah. Quality. Oh god, I don't even want to watch his video thing. Fox over in Discord. Next run.
Waiting to load in.
$51 seconds still though. I had a 57 way back when I had a different one. So this is a very consistent setup. The other one's not as consistent for some reason. But then again, I got fucked up a lot in that one. This time around, I'm not getting hurt hardly at all. So that's why I kind of want to rerun both again, do another set. So we're going to do 2 sets of 10, and then take 2 averages, and then average those for a better average score, I guess. Or just compare to see if it's really was just me, or if it's really the builds. Because that's another variable, is the player, like I've been saying. This one, though, is a little bit friendlier to me right now. I mean, hey, if I'm wrong, guys, I'm wrong, and I do deeply apologize. You know, I will change it to recommending the attack power setup instead of the crit damage setup. But I think either way, you can make do with both, with either or. But if you want, you know, maximum, it might be the attack power setup, or it might be crit. Once we run our next test, we didn't crit that time on that big hit. I think ideally, if you could have a lot higher crit damage and have the same attack power and have a base crit of 45 with the food buff, that'd be the best in slot. Like I feel like a mixture, if you can swing it, would be really good. We just critted 4 times in a row right there. Didn't crit nearly as much that time. The crit rate has gone down a little bit on this. And I'm being more successful in my escapes. We just had a 3 crit right there. 56 second. That was a slower one.
Oh, that's the slowest as you go. God.
That's 2 56s right there.
Yeah, that's like I said. That's
Yep, that's run 6.
still consistent.
Yep, still fairly consistent.
Yeah,
With the
you
other
haven't
one.
been over a minute yet.
Yeah, with this setup. But that's why I said, but I also didn't get fucked up as much. So that's why I want to run the first one again, just to see if it was my consistency as a player, or if it's actually the setup that's changing out the consistency. Because the way this boss works is he's got certain health percentages that he's got to be at, and he does certain things. So if you get him down to about 60%, really quickly, he'll go into his chaining binding ability, And then if you drop him a little bit faster, he won't do certain certain things. And then you also have the other thing of the skeletons that he spawns. So if you can get him down really quickly, you can make the fight really, really easy because he won't do some of the other things that he would do depending on, you know, time that the fight has been going on, and then his health percentages as well according to those different times. Because if he's at a certain percent of health and a certain amount of time passes, then he'll do a certain ability or a certain skill. And we're being very consistent right now, which is good. Consistency is key. This one might be more consistent, but not put out quite as much overall damage. Like in a longer fight, I think it'd be a little bit different. Like a actual like 5-man dungeon boss, I think would be a little bit different there as far as overall times. But I can't say for sure because that's a little bit harder to put together for me. I also haven't got stuck by the stun ball at all on these runs that I've had. Got a lot better crit there. See, I'm critting that final shot a little bit more than I did with the other setup. I crit for 13k on the big final hit of that B ability. Oh, I failed that one. Come on, get back onto the boss. There we go. 59 seconds. Yeah, so I think part of it's going to be... Like, see, that one on there wasn't as good for me. So, yeah, I think it's going to be a different outcome if I have good runs all together with the other build. Because right there, I hit pretty much a minute. I had 1:59-second run in the previous setup. I know that it's very possible to have 56, 54 seconds. This one had a lot of lower 50s, 50, 51, 54, 53, 56 twice, and then we had 59 right there. So we're going to do one more run here with the other setup. Alright, when you're ready. Because I feel like I could do better with that build. I'm already back up to full health, so definitely not taking as much damage, which is nice. There's like multiple times in the last setup, I took a lot of damage. I think I was just trying to push. I was being a little careless, or just getting hit with stuff that I should have been getting hit with. Open the door. So we'll run both setups again to have 2 sets of numbers. Shut up, phone. I know it's 1 a.m. Leave me alone. Let's see here. Alright, here we go. Boom, 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 boom. I didn't hardly crit at all right there. There we go. There's some crits. See, that's what makes up the difference, is the crit. I'm critting a little bit more. I'm taking more damage now, too. There we go. Success. $52 seconds there. And I took a little bit of damage. Right, 2 more runs. More, I have 11 mail items because all the boxes I've been going and everything I've been getting is going straight to the mail. So yeah, the attack power build setup, guys, is very consistent, which is nice. Like, my slowest was a 59-second. Everything's been under a minute to about 50 seconds with only one mark being used. If we use 2 marks, we could probably drop that down into the 40s to 30s. So that's very interesting to see. But, like I said, we're going to run the crit one again just to see if there's any variance there. Because I'm very happy with this one being consistent. Like, we'll run it again too, if anything, just to make sure that everything is consistent across the board of 20 runs. And then, so yeah, the attack power might be more consistent, but not put out as much damage compared to the other one. I mean, we're still putting out a decent amount of damage, but we're able to do it more consistently for that higher tier damage than the crit/crit damage setup. The crit/crit damage setup relies on you getting those crits more often than you don't, because that's where your damage is. Because you're doing 2.02 times damage. So 4,500 times 2 is 9,000 damage. You do about 7,000 with a normal hit on this one. So if you can hit, that first shot multiple times where you're critting 9,000, and then the lighter ones where you do like 10,000, that's 20,000 times 20,000 damage that you're doing. That's where it makes it the where it will surpass this setup. So we did 11,000 there, which is about the same. I just critted 4 times in a row right there. That really helped. So that was 4, 8, 12, 16,000 along that span. We do 13,000 on our final hit there. So it's got a little bit more consistent damage. Like I was saying there, God, we critted a bunch right there. Yeah, and you can sit about 45% crit rate with this one. So I think that's what helps this overall, is being able to sit at a 45% crit rate. We just critted 4 times in a row on that big combo at the end. Is what helps us build out a little bit more than the crit damage/crit setup. Is because you can sit at almost 50% crit rate. 51. Compared to the other one where you sit about 65%. Now I'm going to probably keep everything on me for now until I can get, better crit rates. And we're going to run it again. And that'll be another update video just to see if it still is the best, depending on whichever one. We got one more run here. And I haven't even had to use my second panacea yet, or elixir yet. So I'll buy another food buff, and I'll buy another crit and panacea and elixir. We're going to run that one another 10 times, and just to see if I can get that average a little bit better, to have a little bit better of a comparison between the two. I still think maybe the attack power one's going to have a better consistency compared to the crit/crit damage setup. But again, like I said, we're not quite at full attack power, and we weren't quite full at maximum crit damage or crit rates and things like that. So that's another thing to take into account. Once I can get it a little bit more solid, I can do the test again, and we can do another comparison. I'm going to pop that other elixir again. I just want to make sure it doesn't go away. Another thing to take into account is being able to have all these elixirs on you at all times to be able to get that damage up. Oh, that's something we could do. After the next 10 runs, is do both builds without elixirs and food buff, and see which one's a little bit more consistent. That way, because what if you don't have, starseeds? What if you don't have elixirs and panaceas? In a general sense, which one would be better?
Me?
Yeah, for the more common guy, because they are expensive. I just spent like 30,000 starseeds for both different elixirs and panaceas, like over 30k, which is almost a 1 day full of starseed exchange if you have the 60% boost. That's more than what you get in a day if you don't have the 60% boost, which is interesting. That's another variable to take into account as well. But I mean, you can always craft them too. But time invested to get the resources to have enough elixirs and panaceas to run dungeons and everything else. There's another thing to take into account. But as it stands right now, so far, attack power with crit rate is superior in consistency. And times too, honestly. We had a 50-second run, I think, or almost, yeah, 51 seconds on that last one. I wonder if I can push that 50-second boundary with the other one. 53 on the final one. So 53 on the final one, with our worst run being a 59-second. Alright. Let's go ahead and calculate everything for this average. I'm going to say about 55 seconds average. Alright, so we got
Going to go with
54,
52,
56
54.
plus 53 plus 50 plus 51 plus 56 plus 59 plus 52. What the heck? Yeah, I don't care. I'm sorry, guys. I forgot my num keys on the on my one keyboard. What are we at? 59 plus 52 plus 51 plus 53 divided by 10 is a 53.5 average.
That was closer.
53.5. That wasn't too far off for that average. So we averaged about 7, almost just about 7.4, 7.6. So 7.6 faster with that setup. So again, let's go ahead and swap builds and do it one more time, one more round of 10 with the other one, just to see if I'm consistent with those times for the secondary build here, or for the other build. Right here, let me just make a new line underneath it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But I gotta be right back, guys. I have to use the restroom. Okay, I'm just gotta make sure my scene is back. Okay, we are back. Now, let me go ahead and buy another food buff, another panacea, and 2 elixirs for the crit rate. There's also another thing, you could put up your crit damage as well, and your crit rate to a little bit better than the other one. Because your crit damage is gonna, if you were to get a panacea or an elixir for crit damage and stuff like that, as well as run a 21%. So if you went 21% crit rate, that would give me about a 55% crit chance. Right? No, I'm at 24 plus another 20. It'd be like a 40-something% crit rate. And then I could throw in a crit damage setup, another crit damage one. That might change the overall damage as well. There's like so many things to test, guys, when it comes to this. Elixir of the Hunter.
How do they get it to they can see what the other runes are, even though they're locked?
You have to spend 30,000 star seeds and buy the identifier from the item merchant limited time guy.
Oh. Okay, wasn't curious.
I don't know what is up with the freaking marketplace, but like it doesn't always show like everything that's up for grabs. Like the Panseas weren't showing up last time. Now they are, because I just backed out and came back to it. Oh, I need to buy another Panacea of the, or Elixir of the Hunter. That's going to be 7,500. Okay, I was at like 350,000 starseeds or something like that, or more. I was like, I'm at 274 right now because of this. But like I said, I'll be fine. I'll get more tomorrow. Don't worry, guys. I do have to save some though because my main does need gold. Oh, he's up to 149,000 now, so we might be all right. All right, so and shared meals, tiger shrimp dumpling. I need to work on my my alchemy myself because I do have some of these recipes, and it'd be easier just to make them myself eventually. It'll save me a lot more star seeds in the long run.
Or you could sell them for star seeds.
Yeah, or I can sell them to make money as well. But my first main goal is getting all my characters up. Oh wait, yeah, I gotta accept it from my mailbox, which has 17 mail items. Marketplace. Marketplace. Oh, I have to salvage because I don't have enough inventory space to grab them. Give me a second.
No worries, I'm just selling things for gold right now.
I mean, we're making mad gold just from this. Because I was under 100, I was at like 102,000, 120,000. We made about 20,000 gold just from the 20 runs. And we've only been in at this for like an hour. Alright, let me make sure I have those gear pieces locked for gloves. I don't want to accidentally dismantle them. Alright, let's go ahead and put on our crit damage. And we had the Violent Tide ring on, so let's put this on as well. Okay, I am ready.
Give me a second.
Oh wait, hold on. I'm not ready. I lied. I gotta buy my stuff. I'm making people very happy right now, guys, by buying all their elixirs and panseas off the marketplace. I think I'm gonna eventually start making some and just put them on the market for like for the panseas and the elixirs. So the panacea goes for like 22. I'll put the elixir on for like 5K. There you guys go. I'll make you some money there. I mean, a 7-second difference, 8-second difference almost. Well, no, it is an 8-second difference. It's a 7.6 second difference for the two builds currently, which in some people's minds is more important, you know, which is fine. I got nothing against that, guys. Got nothing against it. I do want to run the test again, and when I have, you know, 100% the best attack power and the best crit rate / crit damage setups, just to see if anything changes along the roads down the road, you know. I want to see if that affects anything. And the bow is going to be the same. You're going to run the crit rate bow, I believe, regardless of build here. But I'm up to 2,000 cores, and I haven't even opened up any of my boxes or anything like that. I have a bunch of boxes. I have a bunch of inventory space being freaking used by a bunch of random stuff. Oh, I have a 3-day one. Okay. I also have a 3-day gold boost going. Ready to go?
Waiting on you.
I'm ready. Boop. But first test is done, guys, so with that, attack power was more consistent. I was kind of all over the place with my other one, so I want to see if I can get a lot more consistent numbers and then compare them then to see if it's as big of a margin as the first round, or if it's not. I don't think I need to do the attack power one again because that was very consistent runs. consistency is way more important. So the crit rate slash crit damage one might not be as consistent, which will be the determining factor there of which one you should go for. But either way, both builds are running the 9% crit food buff. I'm not sure if you'd want to run that. You could run a base of 120 more attack power food buff with the double cheeseburger. That might be more important. That could play another variable in there. I'm giving both builds the same treatment as far as the food buff concerned. But honestly, if you're going full attack power, you'd go with the attack power food buff. But I think having that extra crit is really more important for the attack power build over 120 base attack power, Man, I'm 17k on the big crit. Alright. Boom, boom, boom. Here we go. I'm not critting right now. 13k on the big crit. Oh shoot, I thought I probably could have finished it right there. 56 on that first run. So that was consistent with my very first run last time. Oh, I got a bonus attack though there. I could have finished it though. I thought I got hit by the stun bubble. So I probably could have shaved off a couple seconds there. That probably could have been a 54-second run. Or 55. Because it for sure looked like it hit me. So I was like, ah, crap. So I was getting ready for that. So we're only 2 seconds difference from that first run. That's not bad. If we can get about 54, we'll be pretty much on par with the attack power build. Which is interesting. If I could hit 54-second on the second run, it goes 54-56 for the attack power. If I go 56-54, it'd be the same, just 2 different runs. That'd be hilarious. Alright, let's go. Let's go. What if it turns out like both builds are pretty much the same? that'd be hilarious too. So you go with whatever you choose you want to go with at one point, that'd be interesting. But then again, like I said, maximum crit rate for one build is 65, and the maximum for the other is 45 if you run the food buff and you have best in slot perfect rolled boots, belt, and helmet along with the necklace. But if you're going full attack power, you wouldn't go with the attack power or with the crit rate necklace. But honestly, you want that crit rate because that's very important. As soon as you drop below, like, back into the 30s, and I'm over 60% of the time, that's where I'll outperform you in crit damage and damage in general. Took a hit there. My crit rate is, there we go. Oh, a lot less crits. Like that's why am I not critting as much? I should be critting a lot more than I am. What I meant to do a different move there instead of dodge. Crit rate is very finicky in this game, I swear. .59. That was a little bit slower. So we did have one 59-second run in the other setup. Honestly, as long as we can stay under a minute, both will be pretty viable here. Crit rate is really interesting. Like, I have more crit rate, but I don't feel like I'm critting as much as I should be. That's the interesting thing. That's what's weird. I need to
That's
double
why I
check.
think people think attack's better because you're constantly get the high attack instead of
It's
not having the
constantly
crit.
consistent. It's more
Yeah.
consistent is what it is. And I just want to make sure I do
Where
have all
the
my gear
crit
on.
rate one, it doesn't seem like you're critting as much as you should be.
Yeah, I might be having some negative returns on crit rate, which is where you would like maybe run more of an attack power panacea and the same crit rate. I know sometimes I'll crit like mad, and sometimes like I won't crit as much. It just for those these first two runs, that's what it feels like. I'm not critting as much. But I mean, I
Hmm.
got a 56-second run and a 59-second run, so I'm obviously picking up crits where I need to keep consistent times here.
Yeah, I'm just saying. It just seems
It just feels that way to me.
that's why people argue attack's better than crit because
Yeah, I
it's
mean, it's not necessarily more damage. Like the guy was trying to say, you do more damage. I think it's more consistent damage, but crit
then
damage and a crit rate setup can make up the difference if you crit more like you're supposed to.
yeah,
I think there's the crit rate percent chance is a little iffy. RNG is the biggest factor in everything. Like
yeah.
when you fire that first shot, it's gonna do a roll. That roll is gonna be either a crit or a not crit, and it's gonna base that off of your crit chance. Like right there, I just had 4 crits in a row, 5 crits, and more crits. Now I'm critting pretty consistently. I just had another 3 crits on the back end. See, now I'm critting like mad.
Exactly.
He did a different move that time. Wait, did I even throw a mark on? I don't think I threw mark on at all.
I don't know.
I'm not gonna throw it on because I don't know if I did or not.
Well, if it's over a minute, then you know you didn't.
But what if it's under a minute? And I still didn't.
I don't know.
Oh god, my camera got all goofed up right there. That's gonna hurt me a little bit. 101. Yeah, I fired 3 shots because my camera wasn't on there. I'm gonna rerun that one. I'm not gonna count that one. I don't know if
Okay.
I put a mark on it. I'll put it next to it. I'll put it next to it so that way we still have it, so 61 seconds. But I don't feel like I put mark because my mark wasn't even on cooldown when I got him at the to the around the 60% mark. I don't know. I didn't put a mark on. I know I didn't actually, because I would be on cooldown about halfway through still. So even
Okay.
without my mark, that's 30% damage. I was out. I hit a 61-second run. I know I didn't have mark. I'll go back and make sure, but we'll keep it marked down for now. But we're gonna rerun that one. I'm about 90% confident that there wasn't a mark during that run.
Dungeon, Curse Knight, and Quick Way.
That, and like I said, 3 of my first shots, when I dodge rolled, he kind of moved on me, so my camera stopped locking on, and I went to fire to move my camera, because if you have lock on and it's still locked on, and you go to fire at the enemy if you're facing it, your camera will flip over to the enemy, so you can kind of move your camera without having to move it with your analog stick, and kind of mess up your targeting, because when other enemies are in play, that will target them, and then you accidentally attack the wrong enemy.
Yeah, no, that happens to me a lot.
That's why I tell you, you gotta not do it. I know you want to, because I always do too. Like, it's a habit to move my camera to line
No,
it up
no,
with what I'm
that's
trying to
just
kill.
as soon as the skeleton's gone between me and him, that locks onto the damn skeleton.
As long as you don't touch your stick there, it will not swap off of him. You shoot straight through the skeletons and hit the boss. As long as your target is the boss. That was a lot better crit rate there. See right there? Took a little bit more damage, but Yeah. Yeah, see, now my mark just got back. Now my crit rate is through the roof right now. I'm just critting like mad. Like I should be. I should be consistently critting about this much each time. 55-second run right there. Okay. That was a lot better. With Mark. That was a very consistent run. So yeah, we're actually being pretty consistent ourselves here. It might be a couple second difference at the end. Because 56 and a 55, so we might have like, it might be like 54. So when it comes down to it, with the current setups, it might be both are very viable, and it's not going to make much of a difference whichever way you go. Which would honestly, to me, be a really good thing. So that way, you could run whatever you choose. If you want more, if you want to feel like you're doing more damage, you want to do a attack power, go attack power. But if you feel like you love those crit sounds, go for the crit. You know, you never know. Do you? But we're gonna keep going. So I'm gonna say 55 seconds for run 3, because I did not have Mark on, just based off of where he was when he did the thing and where my cooldown was. Because when he went into the first grapple, I did not have him as far down as I usually do, and my mark wasn't on cooldown. I was able to throw it up right there. I could have thrown a mark in there and it probably would have helped my timeout, but it's not a big deal. So yeah, 55 seconds on run 3. Run 4. So 56, 59, 55. Very, very consistent right now. Like, few seconds difference. If we need to get a couple of little ones in there. I need to see if I can't push the 50-second mark. I did have 150-second on the other build. Yep. But I think RNG is really going to be what gets me there.
Mm-hmm. Always does.
Yep. Always does.
Me, I can say forget RNG because it's always against me.
That's fucking great.
And you know that's true.
17, 20. I love seeing, big numbers too. I didn't crit nearly as much on that first round. I'm starting to pick up. Got 3 crits in a row there. Like, I felt like I crit a lot on that the B ability after your first 3 shots, your hammer shot.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I critted a lot on that shot with the attack power build. Minute. So we had a 60 there. And I had Mark on. That's gonna hurt the average.
Yep.
I mean, yeah. But I am a lot more consistent this time around, which is better. But if you can consistently stay around, 56, 55 seconds, it's going to not be much of a difference between the two builds. I think also having that extra 8% crit damage would help, overall damage-wise. 8% is huge when it comes to crit damage. Because it'll take, like, for instance, we do 4, 5, 7, 2 times 2.02, we get a crit damage of 9,235. But if we do that same 1, 4, 5, 7, 2 times 2.10, we get 9,602. That's almost 400 damage difference, which adds up in the long run. But again, the other build is missing out on about 300 attack power, so take it with what you will. Honestly, you can boost that attack power up a little bit more with the 120 base from the food buff, and it might be worth it, but I don't think it is. I don't think 120 base was going to matter too much when it's coming down to your crits. You'll crit a little bit more consistently, 45% of the time, whereas you'll only be at 36% of the time, compared to 65% of the time on the other setup. But I gotta have, the best gear essentially to be able to compare those two setups, truly with the best rolls and everything. Ooh, I had 11k there on that mark. There obviously are better combos you can run with to get more damage and all that good jazz. Do 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 do. $57 seconds on that one. Alright, number 6. Yeah, a lot better consistent run. For sure. So yeah, that first set of 10 was just me being very inconsistent on my end. It wasn't the build's fault. Honestly, I wish I had a stationary boss that you could have. If I had like a test thing I could do, and just take both builds, like put them next to each other with a generator, and just have them fire off that same combo, and do that over a multitude of times by itself and run it, and then kick out the final result, overall average. That'd be really dope, because then that's going to be a little bit more ideal.
A stationary boss, that's very hard to do.
Yeah, but that'll give you the best kind of a scenario.
Yeah, you're a boss
for
in the
outpoint.
game. You're just gonna stand there while I
Right.
shoot you.
It would
Yeah.
it would be a program and a mod. It'd just be like a test thing. It wouldn't be like in the actual game.
But you see my point.
I know what you're
You're a
saying.
boss of a game. But you're gonna stand there and I'm gonna kill you, and you're not gonna do shit. Is that's impossible.
That's why I said I wish I could have a program that I could use to do that, so I could put in the stats and everything. And then if I had, the resistances and all the background information that you don't get to see,
That game will be labeled the most boring game ever.
it'd just be
You
test.
ain't gotta do shit. You ain't gotta do shit. The boss just doesn't attack you.
I wish we had like the formula that they use for determining damage and crit chances and like all this other stuff. Like if the 4572 times 0.65 times whatever times blah. I wonder if there's like a crit damage thing that you roll against the boss, like if you crit against him or not. I don't know. I wonder if there's different things in the background that we don't get to see. Ooh, that was really nice crits. See, if I'm critting like this consistently, this is gonna be a good run. Then I think I would come out a little bit better. Like almost every shot I got right now is a crit. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. 57. Yeah, that's a lot more consistent. Slightly slower overall, looks like. But the overall average is going to be a lot closer. With my best run so far being 55 seconds. I think the only way I'd make up the average if I had multiple runs in the 40s. That's where I'll make up the difference there. But both are very viable. I think having that extra 8% crit damage might make a difference, but I'm not sure. Like I said, we're going to run it again later on down the road once I can get 27% crit damage gloves and shoulders, as well as having the runes that we need in the slots that we
How
need
many
them.
more did we got? Was that the last
That was
one?
no. We're on number 7. We got 4 more. 4 more. We're on number 7. Yep.
Just making sure.
You don't see me adding up, hear me adding up numbers, do you? The other build is more
Sometimes.
consistent, though. No, I'm just writing them down. I say 57, but I don't go 57 plus 57 plus 60 plus 55 plus 59 plus 56. For the first 6.
Wait, the other runs you were saying, hey, this is run 7, and you're not doing it this time, so I don't know.
It's fine. We're good. Like I said, we could always do both builds static as they are with no Panceas or Elixirs and compare times. Also, having that 65% crit rate should allow me to crit more often too. So, as it is with the current gear that I have and set up, attack power seems to be more consistent. There's no way I can get my crit rate up anymore without getting better gear. That's where I think the difference is going to come in, is having that extra, crit rate on the top end over 60%, which is where it's really going to matter. I tried to kill him before that second. 52-second run. Woo! There we go. Let's have a couple more of those. If I can get more of those, we'd be really... my RNG was really good for crit rate right there. And that was another thing, like I said. With the lesser crit rate, I critted a bit more often, it felt like. There are instances throughout this that I've been noticing where I'll crit a really crap ton. But then there'll also be times where I won't really crit as much. Because my RNG factor.
That build depends on the crit, though.
Yeah, this one's really dependent on crit chance.
If you don't crit, it is nowhere near as good as the attack build.
Consistently as good, yes. Damage per shot compared, overall, this one might be more damage, but being able to sustain that damage is what will make it better than the other one. Now, 52-second run was really solid. That's 2 seconds slower than my fastest run on the other setup. So if I can consistently hit that for the next 3, that'll help out the average overall. Because that's going to be almost half of it being, 52 seconds. But player skill and, RNG factor is probably not going to allow that to happen.
Exactly.
But, like I said, you can have a maximum 65% crit rate on this build. And I think that might be able to make up the difference quite a bit.
Well, player skill could if the player was a consistent player. It's the RNG that's never consistent. Yeah. That's the thing that kills the build.
And the only way to change the RNG factor is to increase your crit chance rate. And currently with my setup, I can't get myself over 60%, which I think there's certain sections of like crit rate that you go over that'll change the RNG factor a little bit. I think that's going to play a part. But I'm going to keep both setups and try and improve on both of them. And then come back again later on to see truly the final one, which one is going to be better. Because I think having a 65% crit rate will make a huge difference. But again, like I said, the other build will have a 45% crit rate too. It's like really finding out where the tipping berg is for crit chance to how often you actually crit for RNG.
Mm-hmm.
Like right there, I didn't crit nearly as much. $53. Wow. It might be doable, Brian. I might get 52, 53 seconds on the final runs. We're on number 9 now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually genuinely like really excited about that. Like we had 2 higher runs and a couple other ones that were pretty, 57s and a 56 in there. But we also had, 56 multiple times, a 59, but mostly everything was around 54. So I think it's going to be a lot closer. Like if I can consistently hit 52, 53 seconds throughout all of the entire runs, it's going to be really close to each other. So that's going to make the difference up.
I think for my playstyle compared to yours, I think attack build would be better for me.
It might be, yeah. But you're not getting it right now because I still need them for further testing later on down the road.
I know that, but I'm just saying for what me to look for.
Be a more for somebody who's not as consistent or can't be as consistent. I would recommend the attack power setup because that's overall more consistent at the moment, it seems. But like I said, you might be a better consistency with 65% because you're gonna do 65% and you're 210% crit damage is gonna make up a bit of ground there for overall damage and how fast you do runs. Again, it's also gonna affect your other build for attack power when you have that missing 300 attack power or something like that. I think it was like 307 attack power missing. So we're gonna look in the future, and I'm gonna keep my eye out on the market for different pieces and different things, and we'll come back hopefully one more time to do another comparison like this, another setup, and see if the changes that we make will change our overall output and our overall results.
Or if you farm them and actually get the good ones.
Yeah, that's hard though.
Yeah.
RNG is way too much of a factor in getting the good gear.
Exactly. Because you don't even see it on the
You see it on 1 million for 7.2% crit rates. White runed boots would be fantastic for me right now.
I get that.
Also having rune slots, like you got to have 11 red runes to get that extra, for that ring.
Yeah, no.
The ring I have is 212. The best ring you can get is 377, right? You got to have 11 red runes to be able to pull that off, and getting rune slots like that is not easy.
Hey, there was an attack, I think an attack boot rune with 3 red slots.
It's possible, yes, but it's a lot harder to see.
Yeah, exactly. I know.
Oh, that's the fastest time I've had. Period. By 3 seconds, I had a 47-second run right there. Oh, there's the RNG really kicking in right there. If my RNG is as good as that consistently, oh man, no doubt about it. 47 seconds is gonna be.
So one more.
Yeah, one more. Wow, I was not expecting a sub 50-second run with these 2 setups right now. There you go, guys. Perfect example of RNG, right there. That was the best RNG for the crit rate setup that we got. Because we have that higher crit chance, so RNG is a lot better, or should be, because we have 54% crit rate compared to 33% crit rate. We should have a lot better consistency of RNG factor for crit rate for actually hitting those crits compared to the other build. Jesus Christ, a 47-second run. I was not expecting that. I did push it at the end and took a little bit of damage because I went for that, which I would have done with any other build. That's just me as a player. I know the boss is like 6% health or something like that. I know that I'm getting at the end of my combo and I hit that B button. I can do at least 6 to 7% easily. I'm going to hit that button and take that damage because I know I can take it. I would have done it with the other build. So don't try to say, oh, you took the hit. I took hits on the other one to make sure I get faster times. Because that's what's important, is trying to get the fastest time. I can sacrifice a little bit of health, take the hit, and get the faster time. Because the boss is going to be dead and I can just heal up afterwards. No biggie. But 47 seconds, damn. That makes up for some of those slower times by a very large margin. See if we could do it again. That's with 1 mark. If I had 2 marks in there, I probably could have hit 35 seconds. That mark is also going to, kind of 'cause it takes the time to actually fire it. Alright, I'll go ahead and pop that. I think that was, these last like 4 runs have been the most consistent I've been for RNG factor. Dodge there. So how do you like just getting sub-minute runs just sitting there, Brian? Oh, I didn't get any crits on that final hit there.
Hey, I'm just helping out a friend. That's it.
Yeah, I appreciate that help. Oh no! We got stunned.
Rip.
Let's
There
go.
goes your RNG run there.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, ouch. Alright, so that was a minute there. I want to run that again. I want to do one more. I got stunned at the end. That was the only time I got stunned throughout the last 20 runs. So we had a minute on that one. That's 2 times we've had 60. I want to do that one again. I don't like that one. We'll put it in there, and we'll do 2 different averages. Just because.
That was
trash.
player.
Yeah, that was player fault there. Not
Player.
that had nothing to do with the build. I just got hit by that freaking stun ball, which takes off a lot of your time. Like, I probably could have had about a 57, 56 second run right there, and I lost 4 seconds just because of that.
That was player playing like a scrub.
that was some scrubbiness right there. One more. I have 22 items in my mailbox, and they're all chests and other items. The good thing is you can salvage the things that aren't boxes in there in your mailbox. Well, we definitely have enough cores now. I'm gonna upgrade some gear. Probably. I'm gonna try and grab Crusader and Berserker gear. I'm waiting on you.
Oh yeah.
How long is this video? Like an hour and a half? Oh, almost 2-hour video.
Is this on Mixer or just YouTube?
I'm recording it with my slobs, and I'm gonna put it on YouTube. I need to get my other like video editing stuff so I can actually make like proper videos, but this will work for now. Because I think I'm gonna stop streaming on the weekends and just do video, like make some YouTube videos on the weekend. I'm not sure yet. We might do streaming like a few hours, like a 5-hour stream, and then the rest of the day will be just like recording. All right, let's see if I can not have player error and see what our time could be. Oh my god, my RNG right there. My problem was I got too close to the boss.
This is your last do-over. Just saying.
Yeah, I know. See if we can make up some ground. Oh man, my crit rate. If he hadn't gone right into that move right there, I would have killed him. Because he stopped my combo. 54 seconds, okay. There we go. 54 for that one. So if we had a 54 there, that's what we would have gotten. Alright, let's go ahead and do our averaging. I think our average is a lot better. We took a little bit more hits that time though.
I'm going to say about 56.
Alright, so we got... Let's use this keyboard. 5-6 plus... here we go. 5-9 plus 5-5 plus 60 plus 57 plus 57 plus 52 plus 53 plus 47, the fastest time of the day, plus 54 equals 550. We're going to divide that by 10 for a 55-second average, which is only 1.5 seconds slower. Like if you can be consistent and RNGs in your factor, both builds are going to be very viable. A 1.5 second difference with the current setups isn't gonna really matter.
Now, if you did your legit 10, the one with the fucking player error, what was that?
Let's go ahead and do that. 56 plus 59 plus 55 plus 60 plus 57 plus 57 plus 52 plus 53 plus 47.
It's time to do.
55.6. So a 2 seconds difference with the one that was like that. So yeah, and honestly, with the attack power build setup, I was really consistent in all my runs. So that's why I did that last run again, because that wasn't quite as consistent, because there was the variable that I got hit by that stun bomb, worsening my time. So even with that one in there, we had a 55.6% or second average compared to a 53.5 second average. So it is a 2 second difference currently with the current setups. They're not best in slot, obviously. They're not the best crit rate we can have. They're not the best crit damage we could have, because we could be at 210, which I think would make up the difference here with the two builds, because, you know, that's going to help. And then the 300 attack power or so that we're missing could also be another factor that could push it over. So currently my recommendation is go with either or. One's not necessarily better than the other. One might be more consistent for you compared to the other. One might not be. It really comes down to the RNG factor, and as you guys see throughout this 2 hours here that we've spent together running these tests and running the runs, we were a little bit more consistent overall with the attack power build, but when I ran the crit/crit damage build, I was able to get a more consistent time as a player with the fastest time of 47 seconds, because RNG played that biggest factor into that time run. Now, if RNG was a lot better to me throughout those runs and I can hit consistent 49, 50, 52 second runs, I think the crit damage one would have had a better average. But unfortunately, RNG is the biggest factor in everything, and that just didn't play out that way. It did get us the fastest time, so as far as fast times go, crit damage won in that field on the second run, the second set of runs. The attack power wins for most consistent runs overall, with the slowest time being 59 seconds, the slowest time being 60 seconds on the second set of runs as far as the more consistent setup. And we did that twice, technically, if you count the original runs. And one of those times should honestly be a little bit slower, because we hit 57 seconds without a mark on for the initial run. So take that as you will, guys. That's my recommendation. Go with either or. Both are very viable. Both are going to perform really well for you guys currently as it is with the gear that I have. We are going to come back at this later once I can get a lot better crit damage. If I can get that 8% that I'm missing, which would be really nice if I can improve that and improve my crit rate. We'll come back and tackle it, because I'm missing my belt. My belt doesn't have any crit rate on it at all, and I'm also missing, you know, better boots and a better helmet. We're missing about, we have a 5.6 or something like that, so we're missing about 2 point something, 2.4 at most, to 3% on our helmet. My boots are like 4 point something, so I'm missing at least another 4 to 5% crit there, and I'm missing all the crit, 8.1% on the belt there as well. So that would honestly increase our RNG factor, and that might push us over a more consistent time, because we're going to be critting more often. So take that as you will, guys. Either way, you're not going to go wrong, I don't think. Just with these two tests, with the attack power difference and everything, either way, you're going to do fine, and it's going to perform really well either way, and you're going to put out damage, and everybody's going to be happy, because Rangers are OGs. All right, guys, that's all for me. I hope this has helped you guys, and I hope it has cleared the air here a little bit, and you can kind of see the different variables and stuff like that. Now there are other things you could do. You could say run 1 crit Panacea and then run more attack power Panacea for the crit damage build, and that might change the variables up a little bit, and that might allow you to do more damage and might have faster times. I don't know. I didn't do that test today. That'd be something you guys could test on your own, or I might test it on my own privately off video here. We were just comparing these 2 build setups and no different variations. If you guys are curious about that, I can go ahead and let you guys know there. In Discord or anywhere else, just hit me up and I will get you that information. But that's been all from me, guys. Thank you very much for joining me today. It's been a long one. It's been fun. It's been very educational here for me, and eye-opening as well to see just the averages, which is in a practical setting, how the 2 builds differ. Now remember, before I do go here, I'm going to allude back to the very beginning of the video here, where I said that we were missing 3,000 overall damage from my spreadsheet that I had for the 2 different builds, like around 3,000, but we still had about a 2-second difference. So there's where the practical sense comes in, maximum 2-second average difference that the builds have between each other, or a maximum 1.5, or for the minimum if you get really good RNG. And again, RNG, if you have better RNG, you might outperform the other build average for the attack power. For the crit damage, crit rate might outperform the attack power one. Let me rephrase that for you guys. If your RNG is better, because it should be, with the higher crit, you should be critting more often, and that crit damage is 2 times your damage, which is going to equal out to more damage in the long run than your attack power setup. That's just how that should work. Now, like I said, it doesn't always work that way, and I proved that, I think, pretty well here in the 30 runs that we did. But anyways, guys, I'm going to stop there before I drag this on too much longer. So thank you all for joining me today. I hope you all have a wonderful time. I hope to catch you in my streams if you like. I'm on Mixer, Wolf_Demon_89. Look me up, and we can have some fun. We can talk about things and compare stats and how things were and our averages and stuff like that. But the last thing that you guys got to do is just keep howling out there, and I'll see you around, guys. Peace out.